Hello friends, hi. I don't know what to say. Hi everyone, my name's Tilly if you don't know me. I recently qualified as a yoga teacher in India, and I thought that in light of the social situation that we're all in, I would start doing some little at-home yoga videos that people can follow along at home. So it's kind of practice for me and some practice for you as well. So we're going to crack on with the first episode of this hopefully series. This is a floor stretching session focused at the lower body. So grab a mat, grab a blanket or a towel. If you have a belt or a strap, please bring it along to class. And yeah, let's crack on with the video. So start the class in a comfortable seated position, rolling the shoulders up and back, sitting with a straight spine, and closing the eyes gently. Relax the muscles of the face. Notice if you're clenching the jaw, and release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And start to connect to your breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Feeling the air fill your chest. Feeling your lungs expand, your chest, your rib cage. And exhale completely. Notice if you're holding any tension in the body. Notice how you're feeling today. And try not to pass any judgment. Maybe you'd like to set an intention. Perhaps something you'd like to move forward with. Or maybe just something you'd like to let go of. Something that isn't serving you. And take a deep breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. Once again, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to bring awareness into your physical body. Notice if you can feel any energy within your body. Still focusing on the breath. And then bringing the hands to heart center, palms together. Lifting the chest slightly, smiling. Bowing the head. And opening the eyes. Welcome to the class. So we're going to start the class in a tabletop position. Shoulders, elbows and wrists stacked, hips stacked over the knees, shins running in a parallel line on the floor, and back should be flat. We're going to inhale to arch the back and look upwards. And we're going to exhale to round the back and tuck the chin, moving through cat and cow. Inhaling to arch the back and look up. And exhale to round the back and tuck the chin. Moving through these cycles in your own breath. Remembering with an inhale to arch the back and look up, and with an exhale to round the back and tuck the chin. Pressing evenly through all 10 knuckles of the hand. making sure not to hyperextend the elbows. I'm going to return to tabletop position. We're going to round the back and push back into child's pose now, and then move forward, arching the back and coming up. Rounding the back to push back to child's pose, and inhaling, arching the back and coming up. Again, just moving with your own breath, inhaling to come forwards, exhaling to move backwards. Inhaling to come forwards and arch, and exhale there. So from here, we're going to bring the right foot forward, making sure that our legs are running in 2 parallel lines, and we're going to lean back, flexing the right foot, keeping the hands on the ground, keeping the back long, the spine long, making sure not to crank the neck. You should be able to feel this stretch in the backs of your right hamstring and right calf. Making sure not to round the spine, keeping a long, straight spine. And breathe deeply. With every exhalation, trying to go a little bit deeper. And then from here, we're going to bend that right leg. We're going to bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot and reach back to see if we can grab the edge or the toe of our back foot. So this might not be within your range. So if you have a belt or a strap, you can always hook it here. Hook it around your toes and then hold on to it and gently pull back. Otherwise, you can just have a bent leg without reaching for it. It's a really good stretch for the quadriceps. Keeping an open chest, not collapsing in the neck or the shoulders, making sure the shoulders aren't inching up towards the ears. And again, breathing deeply here, trying to inch ever so close every time. From here, we're going to come into a low lunge position. So wiggle that front foot forward slightly, and then really lean into that hip. So you can come up and feel yourself leaning in there. You should be able to feel the stretch in your groin, in your hips. The hips should be facing to the short edge of the mat at the front. And again, breathing deeply here. Feeling the stretch in your hip flexors and in your groin. Breathing deeply. Really leaning forward into that front leg. And then we're going to bring that leg back into tabletop position. Have a little wiggle. And repeat on the other side. So bringing the left leg forward this time. And leaning back onto that back leg, straightening the front leg and flexing the toe. Your leg should be in one line from the hip, it shouldn't be coming out at all. And again, maintaining a straight and flat spine. So you might not be able to come down onto your palms, maybe you're just up on your fingers. Just work with wherever you're able to today. Making sure that the shoulders aren't inching up towards the ears. Keeping the neck long. And breathing into the back of the legs. From here, we're going to bend that front leg, come forward again, bringing the left hand to the inside of the left foot, bending the back leg and reaching round to grab the toe if you're able to, or again using a belt or a strap to wrap around the foot, keeping the chest open, keeping the spine long, not hunched or rounded. I'm feeling a deep stretch in the quadricep. Keep focusing on the breath, keeping it steady, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. And again from here, We're going to drop that back foot onto the mat, bringing both hands to either side of the foot, inching your front foot slightly forward, and again leaning into your groin, bringing your hands to your hips so that you can feel the stretch, and then releasing the hands down to the mat, on the fingertips or on the palms, keeping the spine long, keeping the neck long, shoulders rolling up and back. And again, breathing deeply into the hip flexor and the groin. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. With every exhalation, trying to go slightly deeper. Then we're going to exhale to bring both legs back into a tabletop position. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to push up into downward facing dog. So we should have a flat back in this position. Gazing towards the navel, you might like to bend the legs one at a time. Pushing evenly through the hands and lifting up through the tailbone. Making sure not to collapse in the shoulders. And keep gazing towards the navel. Maintaining that flat spine. Being careful not to dump all of the weight into the wrists and the hands, trying to distribute it evenly between the feet as well. And breathing into the backs of the legs and the low back. And we're going to inhale here, bring our right foot forward to the outside of our right hand. We're going to lower the back leg, untuck the toe, and we're going to come into lizard position. So again, the right foot should not be in line with the hip, it should be out to the side. You can come onto the edge of the foot to increase the stretch in the hip if that feels better, or come down onto the forearms. Again, making sure that the spine's long, the neck's long, you're not curving in the spine. And again, you should feel a deep stretch in the hips here, mainly in that right hip. And again, breathing deeply, breathing into any areas of tension or tightness. And really focus on trying to deepen the stretch. And from here, we're going to come up onto our hands if we're on our forearms. We're going to bring the foot in between the hands, tuck the back toe, lift that front leg, point it, and tuck it under our left hip. So you can see my foot is touching my left hip, making sure not to collapse in the hips. If this is very painful for you, you can always put a cushion under your right bottom. So again, you can be up on your hands, or come down onto the forearms, or even release the head onto the hands, making sure that the spine is long, making sure we're not arching the back. If you're up on the hands, maybe trying to come a bit lower with every exhalation. And again, feeling the stretch deeply in your hip. And just feeling the weight of your body stretching and releasing onto that leg that's bent. We're going to come back up onto our hands if we're on the floor with an inhalation. And we're going to exhale to lift that back foot and move the front foot back to join it in downward facing dog. Again, stretching here. We're going to inhale, bring the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand, lowering the back knee, releasing the foot. And again, coming into lizard pose, feeling the stretch deeply in the hip, coming onto the outside edge of the foot if that feels good for you. So you can stay up on the hands, or you can come down onto the forearms, making sure to keep the spine long, keep the shoulders rolling back and down. not collapsing into the arms. And again, maintaining focus on the breath, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. Gazes down. Keep breathing into your hips. Ensuring not to collapse into the forearms. Maintaining good posture in the spine. You might want to try rolling the foot out to one side and then coming back up onto the hands if you're on your forearms, wiggling the foot inside the hands, lifting that back leg, bending the front leg and tucking it under the hip like we did on the other side, coming into pigeon. So you can stay upright here on the palms, or you can come down onto the forearms, or you can release the head down onto the hands. And again, making sure not to collapse into the hips. You can put a pillow under the left buttock if you're experiencing a lot of pain. And just working wherever your body is today. Noticing the difference between sizes, maybe one side was stiffer than the other. And breathing deeply. Trying to release any tension. Feeling your body respond to the stretch. Maintaining a steady breath. And then from here, we're going to come back up onto our hands if we're on our forearms. Tuck the back toe, lift both legs up and come back into downward facing dog. Lifting through the tailbone. Evenly spreading the weight between the hands and the feet, gazing towards the navel, and then exhaling to release the knees, untucking the toes, and pushing back into child's pose. You can have the arms out in front, or you can have them by your side, allowing your breath to return to a normal rhythm. And just releasing here. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. From here, we're going to inhale and come up into tabletop position. I'm going to bring the right leg forward and cross it over the left, bringing the left foot out to the side so the knees are stacked one on top of the other. I'll shuffle around to show you. So the right leg is crossed over the legs, knees are on top of each other. Maybe your knee isn't anywhere near your bottom knee, and that's absolutely fine. Just stay here, breathing and trying to release little by little. So from here, if you're feeling comfortable, taking the left hand so that it's running up the length of the spine, palm facing out, and reaching the right hand up and over and clasping the hands if you're able to. Again, if you have a belt or a strap here, you can take it in each hand and you can hold it, trying to inch your hands closer together. So I'll just turn round and show you. So you can see my left hand is reaching up my spine and my right hand is reaching up and over to grab my fingers. And just breathing here, making sure that the top hand is running next to the head, your neck isn't crunching, it's not leaning forward, making sure to keep your left hand running parallel to your body, not collapsing, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then from here, we're going to stand up, keeping our legs crossed, and we're going to turn, we're going to rotate. If you look at me, I'm rotating, and then I'm going to sit back down. and magically my legs have crossed the other way. So this time the left leg is on top of the right. So again, you might want to just sit here and breathe, or you might want to take the right hand up the spine and bring the left hand up and over the top to try and grab your hand. Again, you can use a strap or a belt here. Feeling the stretch in the hips, in the arms, and maintaining focus on the breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. With every exhalation, trying to release the hips a little more. So from here, we're going to unbind ourselves. We're going to uncross the legs, release the arms, and come so that our feet are facing in front of us. We're going to inhale the arms up, and we're going to exhale to release into a forward fold. Trying to maintain a straight back, so your legs might be on your thighs or your shins, or you might be able to reach your feet. Keeping the feet flexed and gazing towards the big toes. It's most important that you keep a long spine. You can release the head here, or keep upright, working in whatever position you're in at the moment. Inhaling deeply, growing in length, and exhaling to try and release and deepen further into the stretch. And we're going to keep holding here, feeling the stretch in the backs of our legs, in our lower back. And keeping focus on the breath. Keep gazing towards the big toes, or if your head's released, keep breathing there. And we're going to inhale to come up. And we're going to bring the right sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh into the groin. Good tree position. We're going to inhale the arms up, and again exhale to release. Grabbing hold of the foot, the shin, or the thigh. Just working on keeping a straight and flat back. Again, if you have a strap, you can loop it around your foot and hold on to it. Trying to ease yourself further into the pose. And maintaining long and steady breaths. Gazing towards the big toe. If you're super flexible, you can release your stomach to your thigh and your forehead to your shin. And from here, we're going to inhale to release and lift back up. And we're going to shift our front foot out to the side a little bit more. So first it was in parallel with my hip, and now it's moved out to the side. Placing the forearm of your left arm down beside the leg, keeping that foot tucked into the groin, and reaching up and over. Maintaining an open chest, making sure that bottom foot is flexed and bright. Maybe you can reach and grab your big toe with the arm that's stretching over, but otherwise just breathe here. Feeling the stretch in the side body. Feeling the stretch in the back of the leg that's straight. Maybe even a stretch in the hip and the knee of the foot that's bent. We're going to inhale back to center and exhale to release both the legs out straight, giving them a little shake. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side, so bringing the left foot up, the sole of the foot pushing into the right thigh. Inhale the arms up and exhale to release over. Again, you might just be able to reach your thigh, your shin, and that's absolutely fine. Just working to keep a flat and straight spine. Gazing towards the big toe. And again, with every inhalation growing in length, and with every exhalation growing deeper into the pose. Maybe you might be able to inch a little bit further down with every exhalation. Again, if you have a strap or a belt, you can use it in this pose. Make sure to keep that bottom foot flexed and the shoulders rolling down away from the ears. And then again, we're going to inhale to lift up. And then exhale to bring that right foot further out to the side. Bringing the right forearm down and reaching the left hand up and over. Feeling the stretch in the side body, keeping the chest open. Maybe you can reach to grab the big toe. And just breathing deeply, again with every exhalation. Just trying to release further into the pose. Keeping the bottom foot flexed. And keeping the neck long. I'm going to inhale and come back to centre. Straighten the legs out, give them a wriggle, release. And then we're going to lower down onto the back. So we're going to bend both knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. And we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg, bringing the arms out to a T shape, in line with the shoulder. And then rolling over to the left and looking over towards the right. Feeling the stretch in the lower back, in the chest, in the hips. And again, breathing deeply here. With every exhalation, trying to lower the legs further into the stretch. You might want to take your left hand and place it on your right knee and just gently push yourself further into the stretch. Otherwise, you can just stay in this position, feeling the release and feeling your body relax into the pose. Inhale to come back to centre. Cross the left leg over the right and roll over to the right hand side, looking over to the left. Trying to keep both shoulders on the mat and feeling the stretch in the lower back. Again, if you'd like to, you can bring your right hand onto your left knee and gently pull yourself further into the stretch. Again, just working with what's comfortable for you today. And then inhaling to come back to centre and exhaling, bringing both the knees into the chest, having a little roll, moving clockwise and anti-clockwise. Inhaling to bring the knees in and exhaling to bring the knees back out. And feeling the massage in the lower back. And then bending the knees, reaching the arms to the insides of the legs and grabbing the outside edges of the feet. Coming into happy baby. Trying to keep the lower back and the sacrum on the floor. You might find some gentle movement here, perhaps rocking side to side, straightening one leg and then the other. Again, feeling the stretch in the hips here, in the hamstrings. Keeping the neck relaxed. And pulling through the hands, deepening the stretch in the thighs. Breathing into any areas of tension. And then exhaling to release, inhaling the nose up to the knees in a ball shape and squeezing tightly. Squeeze every muscle of the body, squeeze tight, tight, tight. Keep squeezing and then release. Releasing the legs to the mat, releasing the arms by your side, coming into Shavasana. At this point you might like to grab a blanket, put some socks or a jumper on, maybe put a pillow under your knees or perhaps under your head, and just find a comfortable resting position. And just relaxing here. Letting go of any control you have over your breath. And just allowing it to flow naturally. Feeling the ground supporting you. And feeling your body release into the ground. Notice how your body feels now. Feels any different to the start of the class? And just begin to release. Release any tension in the feet, in the ankles and the toes. Release any tension in the calf muscles, in the knees and the thighs. Release tension in the hips, in the abdomen, in the chest. Release the hands, the wrists, the elbows and the shoulders. Release any tension in the jaw. Relax the skin of the forehead. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And imagine your whole body being bathed in a warm and soothing light, surrounding you completely. Let go of any worries or concerns, any thoughts of the past or the future. Just allow yourself to be present in this moment. And just relax here for the next few minutes, enjoying these last few moments of peace and quiet, allowing yourself this time. And when you're ready, start to bring sensation back into your physical body. Take a few deep breaths and start making some movements with your hands and your feet. Reaching your arms up and over the head and stretching deeply. And then bringing the soles of the feet to the mat, bending the knees, and rolling over to the right hand side, coming into a fetal position, resting on the bicep of your right arm. And then keeping the eyes closed, come up into a seated position. Bringing the palms together at the heart. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Bringing the palms to your third eye. Namaste.